we don't win, and when we do win, it's not like, oh, we live. Good evening. Good evening.
Well, hello,
We
hello.
here. We here. Sipping with Swirv. We back. We gonna do this all week. Like I feel like I could do this all week. Like we here. We here. I'm live. We live, baby. We live. I'm here only to talk. To talk crazy. I want to do a Super Bowl recap. I have some friends here with me. I have Leah. How you doing, Leah?
What's going on? What's good? What's good?
I have Charisma. She's back. We have Ramir somewhere in the background.
He said he's going to come and join me in a second.
Okay, I'm going to be joined by my guy Pat from Stream Punk Entertainment, and maybe some other people are going to pop in on us tonight. But I just did this like spur of the moment type because I'm feeling like doing. I felt like doing it tonight because I feel like it. Like shout out to this is the Because I Feel Like It podcast, and this is Sipping with Swerve. So I hope you ladies and gentlemen have a drink to sip while we talk.
Did I
But
see
this
you
is
have a claw? I have a claw.
Listen,
Yeah.
like I got a
my,
couple Chico.
my liver
What you
filed for divorce this morning. So for me,
the check engine
uh,
light came on?
yeah. Um listen, Puerto Rico owes me nothing, and
The
neither
check
does the
engine
Super
light came
Bowl, and neither do the Eagles. And I also need to save my liver for the parade on Friday.
Amen. Hallelujah.
So
Woo.
yeah, I don't want to get divorced from my liver before Friday.
on.
Yeah.
Okay. Respect.
Yeah.
Respect.
We got to
Yeah.
save that
So
shit.
Yeah.
Rizzy, last time we talked, we was like
Balanced
you know,
breakfast.
balanced breakfast.
Balanced breakfast. Oh, what I
Balanced
say?
breakfast.
Listen, I think we
You know
all
what?
said there was no nerves. Everybody felt like it was going to be what it was going to be. And listen, it was better than what we thought it was going to be.
Mm.
Like,
I
I
said 14.
had no idea the amount of disrespectful, respectful football.
Yo, listen, we walked in the door. We didn't just walk in the door. We kicked that motherfucker open.
Yo, belt to ass.
Belt to ass. BTA all day.
Like, it was embarrassing after a little while. I almost felt bad for him. Like I felt like, damn, why do I feel bad for them right now? That's crazy.
I would have, but what fucking Travis Kelsey wore? Sorry, you asked that. You asked for that shit.
How about Taylor Swift not
This
understanding what
is
it was
hey,
like to get booed until
the
that
family
moment?
show.
Taylor
She's
This
like,
Swift
is
"What
said,
is
"What is
that?"
what is going on? I've never had this happen to me. I want to die right now." She literally could not understand. That's crazy.
Listen, the Philly fans are relentless. Like, you better get used to a boo, bitch.
Oh, Ice Spice picked the wrong date that night.
She was like, "Bitch, you're getting booed right now." Like,
So hard.
no,
Like,
I've been hyped about running it back because I felt like 2 years ago. Well, let me put my shades back on. Like I see the and you can't see me right now because I'm a Super Bowl champ. Like I
listen,
just want to dance. Like I just be wanting to dance. I'm just so happy today.
can we talk about Cooper DeJean? Like,
No,
what?
we're not we're gonna talk about my happiness right now. Like first,
No,
let's talk
let's
about my
like
happiness.
this is the second greatest day of my life. The first greatest day of my life was
Listen,
February 4th.
the
February
exciting
4th.
whites are part of your happiness right now. They must be
The,
mentioned.
the exciting whites are definitely part of my happiness.
look.
The
I'm with
exciting
him.
white,
I want to sip wine with
the,
him. For real, for
Listen,
real.
the exciting white.
not the only white player to ever score a pick six in a Super Bowl, though. How sexy is that?
Oh, we might need to get him a DNA test.
Right?
Yo, his mom was
We-
hitting the mailman. I'm just
What's the
saying.
thing called when they check like way? Yeah, he got black in him somewhere.
yeah, he got too, he too
Listen,
fast. He too fast. He too smooth.
if he don't have it, he's about to have all the options of black coochie in Philadelphia
Yeah,
that he can possibly handle.
you
Look,
already know what was my man. Remember the Tom Green road trip? Remember y'all seen Tom Green road trip where the white boy hooked up with the big black chick at the frat house? That
oh yeah,
that's
they
Coop
had that
right.
as a meme today. It was him.
That's Coop in Philly right now. Coop got the
Actually,
pick.
listen, if Coop's listening, listen, you could come holler at me. I'll be in Philly all week, bro.
Look, I'll co-sign for her because he's
Hey,
not really my
I'm
flavor. But look, I'll be your wig woman. I got you.
Listen,
I'm
Coop,
smoking on that Mahomes pack.
you can have all the
Shout out
fan
to my
site
boy Coop,
subscriptions you want, baby. It's on me this week, boo.
my boy. Hey, Coop, Coop, Coop. He did his thing yesterday. He did
And
his
what he
thing.
turned like 23? Was it like 23 he turned
Yeah,
yesterday?
he turned 23 yesterday.
Mm.
Listen, can we just say, as a unit, that was the sexiest all together, all three phases of football shit I've ever seen in my life.
Hey, guess what? Guess what? Did my prayer in the morning work for Jakey? Yes, my prayer. I said, Lord Jesus, don't let Jake miss one, but if he missed one, still help us
Yo,
win.
and then
And
they
I
tried to
believe
ice
it.
him twice and he made them. And I'm like, yo, Jake, what is happening? Talk
Listen,
about trying to salvage his job.
they said Jake got to the field hours prior to practice as he should have. And I was like, listen, Jake the leg, you better
Listen,
he
you know
better
what's crazy is we literally was talking about that yesterday on the podcast and we was like, you know what, we ain't even finna speak it into existence or whatever. But like,
We spoke it in English.
yo, because like at the end of the day, when you come into situations like now, obviously, normally, the other team shows up in the Super Bowl. Shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs.
And
But you know what I'm saying?
the only KC that showed up yesterday was cracked out KC and JoJo. That's what I said.
So
Ooh,
listen though. Listen,
ooh.
I'm all for it, but Pat Mahomes, you literally had the lip of a kid who did not get his water ice when he asked his mama. Like you looked sad. Like it come on, man. Take that shit with a chin.
Yo,
Like
he got pummeled yesterday. Pummeled. Listen,
he got
let's
his
talk
ass
about that.
whooped.
Let's talk about how the AFC looks so good until they play the NFC.
Yeah.
Let's talk
Listen.
about that.
All that three-peat, we get ready three-peat. I'm like,
No.
shut the fuck
It was
up.
like Lamar Jackson is better than Jalen Hurts. Josh Allen is better than Jalen Hurts. Pat Mahomes is better than Jalen Hurts. Justin Herbert is better than Jalen Hurts. Like all that talk.
Oh,
And
I
guess
was
what?
burning them today on the blogs. Burn them.
He's
I'm like, I hope
he's
y'all eat
beating.
shit with a knife and fork politely all week.
Yeah, you
Not with a
have
knife
to
and fork.
because they disrespected this kid for so long
Right.
and
Take
said
small
how
bites. Take small bites. Cause listen,
yeah
even Stephen A. Smith was on there today talking, yo, we gotta give this dude his flowers. We all said this
Right.
XYZ shit. Yo, more than the XYZ shit, more than the flowers, like y'all owe this man more than an apology.
Facts. Facts. They were shitting. Even Steven, you were shitting on this kid for the long. He ain't got no throw game. All he does, and guess what? I love Saquon. Love him to death. Love Saquon. But we didn't lean on him yesterday. We did not
Couldn't.
I
lean.
know
Look, we threw out weapons. Oh, you think we can't throw? Dotson. Where he come from? Where did he come from? We were like, oh, okay. Our weapons are all over the place.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
And
just
it's like the Kansas City went into the game with the mindset, like we said earlier, that we can't let Saquon beat us, and Jalen has to make the right reads and put the ball in the. He has to make the right throws and the right reads to beat us. That was the Kansas City game plan. And guess what he did? He went out there and made the right throws and the right reads. And guess what? They put up a 40 burger.
Hmm.
They put up
Against
a 40
against the
spot.
unbeatable, the three-peat, get ready, unbe Pat Mahomes, the greatest of all time. He's
Yeah, but
unstoppable.
you gotta look too, like the energy was so different between the teams this year. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like our energy was so wild, you could feel it. Like everybody felt it. Like they walked in, they didn't have to act like they owned the place. They didn't need ownership. They already knew it.
Yep. And we kind of had home field advantage because did you hear that stadium?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
Well,
that's almost everywhere we go though. We're always
yeah,
hated.
We're supposed to
they said
not be,
40,
we're supposed
40,
to be the most hated and not
43%.
America's team, but we are America's team.
43%. I think last I checked, 43% of the tickets purchased for the Super Bowl were from the Delaware Valley area, Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Jersey area. So, like you said, that's everywhere. We show up and we show out, and it's just I still don't believe it. Like I said, I just wanted to get on and run my mouth for a few minutes because I'm being hyped. Like I wanted to say this. I'm gonna go on a rant, and y'all feel free to stop me, but you know how I get. I just want to say this. First off, I want to hey, is that black jumping on? Yeah, black. I just want to get on and I just want to say this. I want to say Chase Daniels, your mom. Dan Orlowski, your mother. Skip Bayless, choke on the long one.
Your mom and
Uh,
your dad.
And your cousin.
the dude from New York, all y'all who disrespected my guy number one all year long, and like y'all said, y'all owe him more
Don't
than
forget
an
about
apology.
what's the
You
forget?
owe the disrespect. The apology has to be just as loud as the
The
disrespect.
disrespect. Amen.
Pat
Hallelujah.
Mahomes Senior. Guess what I'm smoking on, Pat Mahomes Senior? I'm smoking on this Mahomes pack tonight. Choke on the long one. Jackson Mahomes, you look like you stink. The better Kelsey played in Philadelphia. The better
Listen.
Kelsey played in Philadelphia. Kansas City barbecue isn't that great. Andy Reid, I appreciate everything you've done, but sit your walrus looking ass down for a year, sir. Um,
Not Kansas City barbecue is not that great.
yeah, I'd rather go. Nah. You know what? I'll take a year off from that too.
Let's
Um,
keep
Steve
going.
Spagnola, Steve Spagnola, you are who we thought you are. You were going to pressure. I said this yesterday. You were going to pressure to stop the run and try to make us beat you with a big play. And then when we beat you with a big play, you were still going to pressure, believing that it wouldn't happen again. Shut the fuck up, Steve Spagnola. Kansas City Chiefs fans, I'm stealing that from Clint Coley. I just want to say, I feel I still don't believe it happened, right? Because it's just like it just doesn't happen the way it happened yesterday. As Philadelphia fans, as Eagles fans, things just don't happen the way they happened yesterday, and they did. And as I'm watching it unfold, and like, what's great? I might have dozed off. I might have had a little too much to drink yesterday, so I might have dozed off once or twice. But like at that, and I might have paced around. I don't even know what I did yesterday. It just all was a blur. But when it's 24-0 at halftime, and then let me say, shout to Kendrick Lamar. That halftime show, people are killing it and saying what that halftime show was dope. But um, like yesterday was just great. Like yesterday should be a holiday.
It is going to be a holiday on Friday. You ain't get the
Yeah.
memo?
I'm smoking on that Mahomes pack. I'm smoking on that Mahomes pack. I'm smoking on that Mahomes pack. You feel me?
Listen.
Like they were so disrespectful 2 years ago when they won on that bullshit pass interference call. And then the way they celebrated and the way and I just hate I like Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes is one of the greatest to do it. But his brother and his dad, I can't stand either one of them. And just the fact that they were so excited going into the game, and then they showed their faces afterwards, and like the distraught looks they had on their face, and just like,
I don't feel bad for any of them. I
oh, it
don't
made
feel
me
bad for
happy. It made me smile.
Mahomes is
I,
snobby
I
as
was smoking.
shit.
I felt this. I felt this for a reason. I dug through 8 years of shit to find this today, so I can smoke on the Mahomes pack. Smoking on the. I'm smoking on the Mahomes pack today.
As you should. He couldn't
You
even
know
lose
what?
with grace. He couldn't even lose with grace. He pouted like a kid. Like, come on,
We
dude.
ain't
Suck it
we
up.
ain't one hit wonders no more. We just hit another one. We just hit another one. We went platinum again.
Bro,
Take that.
Yeah, but
bro,
it's
I'm,
kind
What's
of
up, Black? Thank you for joining us, Black. I'm on one of my rants. You already know how I get.
it's good, man. Look, I'm a. You know how you have what's those things? The cookers, like a slow cooker. What is it called? A
yeah,
crock
Crock
pot.
pot.
Yeah, I'm gonna crock pot my pettiness throughout the next. What is this? February the 10th.
February 10th.
9 months. Nah, I really feel like the whole year. I'm gonna just be really petty, but it's gonna be slow. As it just, I'm gonna do it when people don't ever expect it. Right? I hit them. I hit them a lot today.
Oh, I seen your response to the Buffalo Bills, man.
Yeah, like you talking about. What did he say? He said, yeah. Ask Trent Dilfer how it was to win a Super Bowl. I'm like, for one, fam, I was like, did Josh beat Pat?
Yeah, Josh
You
can't
know,
beat that.
hey, or better yet, do the Bills have a Super Bowl?
How many Super Bowls do the Bills have?
How
You know
many
what
times
feels
did they
good?
go in a row and lose though?
yeah,
We
but you
have
know what?
twice as many.
We could have played any AFC team, and it still would have been. It wouldn't have been the same score, but it would have
Oh,
been.
Yeah, but
if we would have played the Bills yesterday, we would have beat them by 60.
If we would, the only team it would have been close with is the Ravens.
yeah,
Yeah.
but look at this though. Look at this. What's going on?
My man, Pat. Yes, let's
But look
go.
at this though. Peep this though, man. Like over the last 2 years, right? They're saying what Jalen is and ain't. Right? Over the last 2 years alone, he's beaten Pat twice.
Yep.
Right? He beat Josh last year.
Yep.
Right? He beat Lamar this year.
Yep.
Right? He beat Joe Burrow this year, right?
Yep.
All those are the five people they said is in the top five. So if
He's
he's
beating
not
all of them.
right, so if he's not in the top five, and he beat one of them for a Super Bowl, and on top of that, a Super Bowl MVP, then where does he rank? If
Where
if
do
four
you,
out of them five don't have a ring.
I mean,
look,
I know where he ranks.
two.
It's these other people that the
Yeah, I
announcers and
mean,
that don't
yeah,
respect him.
yeah, because I had a conversation real quick. I'm gonna let y'all get to it. I mean, I had a conversation like this afternoon. It was like, well, he's not my top three. I was like, well, if there's only one other quarterback that has a one current quarterback that has a Super Bowl in the last 7 years, and he's the only one with another one, right? And he's been to the Super Bowl twice, and the other ones haven't been even to the Super Bowl yet. Why is he not two?
That's a
You
fair.
you know what's crazy?
It makes no.
It's like
If you break it down like that, a lot of people don't have like. I'm not saying every people are smart. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say people are stupid because there are a lot of dumb people, but at the same time, people don't use common sense. Right? It's just
I
basic
agree.
common sense, fundamental thinking.
I I look at it like this, right? Right. And like talent wise, you look at Josh Allen and you fall in love with this 6'5", 6'6" kid who's like he just looks like a quarterback, right? And then Josh Allen looks like he looks like a player, and then when he gets outside the pocket, he moves like a player, right? Josh
Right.
Allen's good. Then you look at Lamar Jackson, and like if you hate Lamar Jackson, you can't call yourself a football fan. Like everything, Lamar Jackson has improved every year he's been in the league since the day he entered the NFL. And Lamar Jackson is Josh Allen. He's a little smaller, but Lamar Jackson is lightning. Like where Josh Allen is physical, Lamar Jackson can be physical, but he has that finesse aspect, and the kid probably runs 4.3, and he has an arm that he has an amazing arm. So, like, if you're looking at it from, and then Joe Burrow just throws and throws and throws. He throws. Joe Burrow coming out of college, he led the most prolific offense in NCAA history. He went to the Bengals. Granted he had T Higgins and Jamar Chase, and I'm saying this now because we're going to come back to it. But Joe Burrow's numbers, if you just look at numbers, Joe Burrow's numbers pop off to you when you're looking at numbers, right?
Yep.
I say that to say this. All three of those guys, it's the numbers with Burrow, it's the eye test with Allen, and it's just Lamar is probably the greatest athlete we've ever seen play quarterback. All three of those guys, if you give me a legit argument, I will give you that. The one name that bothers me when we talk about elite and great quarterbacks is they put Justin Herbert in front of Uno every time, and I cannot stand it. What has Justin Herbert done, or what does Justin Herbert do that's better than Uno? Go ahead, Matt. You looking like you want to say something?
No, because I'm thanks for having me on, by the way, Swirv. And so when I look at the season overall, what was the number one thing that stood out to everybody that everybody was so upset about? It was the not starting your stars through the preseason. We all had our hissy fits about that. You looked out to how this team played out through the course of the season. After that bye week, we were ready to drive the head coach to the wacko house after he shaved his head, and then we were about to we were ready to forfeit on this team. It's just amazing to me, and not just from the quarterback position. It's amazing to me from O line to D line to secondary, everywhere, all over, from the coaching perspective. I mean, it was it's the whole team. It's really, they had no answer, and not just the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, they were the icing on the cake. But I mean, after that run, we take care of the Browns, we took care of the Bengals. The Joe Burrows of the world had no answer. We go on this deep run, and nobody had an answer. And yesterday's Super Bowl, and this is where I give Vic Fangio the credit of all credits, because this is, again, would have happened in 2017. That's the last Super Bowl run. We faced a Tom Brady that on paper that was supposed to win that game. And here we beat him. Here, a Brandon Graham-led defense beat him. Now we look at this, Patrick Mahomes, the second coming after Tom Brady, and had no answers for this defense. Within 5 minutes of this game, Patrick Mahomes looked like he was puzzled. He looked like his cage has been rattled. He didn't have anything prepared for what's going on. And it's funny because that Kansas City Chiefs team, we spoke about it yesterday on the post-game show, they had 2 weeks to prepare for this Eagles team. You had 2 weeks to prepare for the Eagles and what they were going to throw at you. And I guess Andy Reid thought he could handle Vic Fangio because he's owned him since becoming the Chiefs head coach, and had no idea that Zach Bonds of the world were going to explode in his face, or Milton Williams were going to come up with a strip sacks, or anything. Carter Williams. And how about that hit from Jalen Carter yesterday to Patrick Mahomes? Looked like a bear paw slapped him right in the face.
I was so shocked that there was not a flag thrown on that.
And you want to know why? Because when we all spoke up as Eagles media and fans, we got to let them play football a little bit. So, the fans were going to get on it. Look, the first couple plays were flimsy, were a couple calls, even on both sides. I'll give it there. But like I said, I'm really, though, impressed, like I said, from all aspects. And now like I said, I talked about the D. I'm going to talk a little bit about the O, and the O-line, who did a great job, protecting Jalen through the course of this year. Protected Jalen. I mean, it didn't matter who got hurt, whether it was Lane Johnson, Malata. There was always someone who did a great job. And then go right to your quarterback. I just bought a Jalen Hurts jersey Saturday, and I'll never wear it again because it's going to go up on my wall in a frame. Because to me, and maybe you guys are a little bit older than I am, and ladies,
Hold on.
this to me is the greatest Eagles quarterback of. And I know Donovan's got numbers, and he's been here for the longevity, but I don't know a quarterback in second year. 5 years he's been here. He's been 2 trips to Super Bowls and won one already, and he should have really won the first one if it wasn't for slippery calls. But it's this kid he's worked on his mechanics since his rookie year, and he's never missed a playoff. So to me, Jalen Hurts is the greatest quarterback in Eagles franchise. I'll never wear his jersey. Saturday, if you guys watch my podcast Sunday, it will be hung up already.
I actually wore mine. I wore mine this year, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the one with the Super Bowl patch on it, and I'm going to do the same thing.
Yeah, he's already. It's crazy. He's everyone doubts him every game. It's so funny because they just showed you on Sunday.
Nope.
Saquon Barkley was not an X factor, and he beat you aerial. He spread the ball around. He went to Goddard. He went to Dotson. He went to AJ. He dropped that Don right to Devontae Smith.
He went to 6. He went to 7.
Agreed, because that was what everybody was putting on their. They were like, oh, they're gonna throw, Saquon. That's our weapon, Saquon. And it was like we threw that ball around. I mean, don't get it twisted. Saquon, he beat, you know what I mean? He had some stuff, but we didn't lean on him the whole game. People were like, whoa.
No.
They're like, whoa, Dotson, where'd he come from?
and it's so funny because you're right, because they Steve Spags dialed up to shut down Saquon, and that's it, and throw blitz packages at Jalen, but they didn't have no game plan for Jalen's feet. They didn't expect that, and the one-on-one coverages that Jalen was reading, everything that Kansas City was throwing, and Steve Spags, their defensive coordinator, everything that he was throwing at him, Jalen just took full advantage.
That dude made one
bad throw,
one bad play last night. One bad play. He made one bad play last night,
and it was a game.
And you know what? It took 3 points off the board.
No, and here's the thing: everybody keeps on discounting Jalen, but what he has over Mahomes is that Mahomes is not a running quarterback. He couldn't run for shit at all.
No, and it's funny. Again, we've all heard it through the course of the game, and today, the Eagles didn't use any blitz packages, and they were coming and they were hitting home. And Patrick Mahomes was rattled, and he didn't have an answer. He couldn't escape the pocket. I mean, there was a few times he escaped him. It doesn't matter because those outside edges were already shutting him down, already getting to him, and they didn't have an answer. Andy Reid looked puzzled, and Steve Spags looked puzzled. We're talking about great head coaches, great coordinators, and they couldn't dial up with the Eagles. And you saw Nick Sirianni's face. He was going right for the jugular, and there was no stopping him. He was going to rip everything out of that Kansas City Chiefs' heart. And I will say, and I'm thanking, this is the only Super Bowl now in the past 3 years, I only got to see Taylor Swift 3 times. That was it. I'm blessed for that.
You know what's crazy, though, is like the O-line definitely created a lot of pocket issues without intentionally sacking the quarterback. Like they moved in and they encroached so much that there was nowhere for him to go. Like it was just crazy how they used their own players against him.
Yeah. And you're right. You're absolutely right. Look, listen, it's they just, like I said, it's amazing. Now, like I said, the all season is coming. It's amazing. Again, to me, everyone's worried who's going to stay and go. And it's, listen, if anything I've learned from the first time we won the Super Bowl until now, listen, let Howie do his thing. Let Howie work his magic. We'll be all right. Doesn't matter what coach he puts in play. Doesn't matter what quarterback he plugs in. Because everybody, if you remember that last Super Bowl run, everybody thought everyone was ready to ship out Howie after getting rid of Carson Wentz, and this guy came and sniffed a football field. And yesterday was the closest he's gotten in a long time to a Super Bowl. So, and it turned out we got the better of the quarterbacks. So it doesn't matter what moves listen, Howie's always on the move and always wheeling the deal. So listen, when everyone's playing checkers, this guy's playing chess. So I love what this guy throws at you. They got no answer for this team, this franchise. And right now we're sitting at the top of the world. So if you're an Eagles fan, you got the next 9 months to sit as your champion. The only thing that's going to suck is the primetime games because I like the 4 o'clock games. Yeah. You're going to get a lot of Sundays, Thursdays, and Mondays.
Get put back on the national schedule for sure.
Yeah, that's the one.
You know what's crazy?
Games, dude, where you can have the rest of your afternoon.
And I want to give credit. A lot of people are not giving credit to. I want to give credit though to Nick Sirianni. Swirv. I know you and I do shows with our couple guys from across the state for the Pittsburgh guys, and it's funny because everyone from the outside looks at Mike Tomlin to be this great coach because he gets into the playoffs every year. But if you ask the people out there about Mike Tomlin,
they hate him.
They're ready to ship him out because he can't win a playoff game. He hasn't won a playoff game in 6 years. Here you look at our problems. It's like we don't have that. We have a head coach, like I said, shaved his head, looked like he was going to go to the wacko house, and no, he
he ends up winning the Super Bowl.
He won Super Bowl. He hasn't lost since. So you know what? The guy's been a playmaker. He wears his emotions on his sleeves. There's no doubt about it. And his players believe in him. And when you have a team that last year I thought. For sure, his message went sour. It went stale. Yeah. No one believed in him. And after week 4 of this week, by the bye week, I thought for sure he was going to be on the chopping block. And now he turned things around. He got this team believing in him again. And that's all.
No, I think him and Jalen, they both have a factor that they embody Philly in the sense that Sirianni has that passion, that fiery shit that we like, you know what I mean? And then at the end of the day, Jalen, what people don't like about Jalen is he's quiet, calm, reserved. Everybody thinks that, you know what I mean, he ain't saying much, but he's just chilling. He's like, no, I'm not saying nothing because I got work to do. And people should respect that.
They mistake, and here's what they mistake Jalen's humbleness and quiet demeanor for arrogance.
Yeah. And it's not. It's like, it's just like they try to get him, they try to recruit him on that show that Mahomes was on Netflix, the quarterback shit. And he turned it down a couple times because he was like, nah, it's not the time.
I think they try and get him to be hood and ghetto and come out of his face, and he's not like that. That's
facts.
No, he's just he's a quiet kid. He's just like you guys, like everyone say, he's just that quiet quarterback. He's just going to lay back and let his body talk for him. And listen, everybody was trying to dial something back during the Steelers week. Oh, you and AJ Brown ain't on the same page. And what did he do? Listen, the media's going to talk. And hey, AJ, I'm going to feed you the rock. You're going to look like a stud today. Now what, media? Now what do I have to prove to you? What do I have? Let's get those lips out there. You know what I mean? So again, I've had my question marks. Of course, I was one of those guys who was, but I got nothing but respect for this kid. He comes in, he balls out every chance he gets. And by the way, I think we can all agree, New York Giants again, you buffoons. Thank you so much for
thank you for
letting him.
Thanks
walk.
for the pass up. Woo!
Thanks, East Rutherford Giants.
But what do you say? They don't even play in the state. You said what did you call them? The East Rutherford Jets.
I want to thank the 8 other teams that didn't draft Jalen Carter.
Yeah. Amen. Woo!
How about them Georgia boys?
Yeah.
It's crazy now because
that's wild, man.
This Eagles team and how he's run here. I mean, we won from Howie, we won from Dougie to Nick, but it's crazy. Like this guy, I mean, again, keep on letting Jerry run the Cowboys. Keep on because what Howie's doing as a GM compared to what everyone else is doing, other than the Commanders, they're actually on their way up. But other than outside of the Commanders, I mean, those guys are still playing checkers. Giants have no idea what they want to do with their franchise. They paid this guy $8 million to be their savior, and he already bowed out on the team. Daniel Jones is no longer going to be there. Yeah, you guys keep on, and Dallas, you guys keep on believing in Prescott. Yeah, you guys keep on believing he's going to win. So, and it's funny because I was just listening to Swirv. You were talking about the Josh Allen. Listen, Josh Allen's is still worried because they're getting high hopes because they're hoping for the next Jim Kelly to come walk in there, and yet he's following his footsteps, except for he's not even making to the Super Bowl. He's just getting the cutoff lines, the playoffs. You look at Lamar Jackson again, a playmaker, makes plays with his feet. We know what he can do with his arm, but again, to Marcus's points, I don't think any of those guys are on Jalen's level. None of them. No one can read the ball security of this guy. He doesn't turn the ball over as much. He's. I'd rather him play ball secure. I'd rather him take the sack. I'd rather than make a dumb move. Listen, he gambled last night, made one dumb decision. He cut it off. That's it.
It's just
But then I hate when people are like, "Oh, Jalen's not that good. His roster is loaded." Name every great quarterback's roster is loaded.
Yeah, what they're going to throw it
crazy?
to themselves?
Yeah, Joe Burrow has Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Nobody ever says, "Oh, but Joe Burrow's roster is loaded." You see what I'm saying? Joe Montana had Jerry Rice and John Taylor. Nobody ever said, "Oh, Joe Montana isn't great because his roster is loaded." Like Peyton Manning had Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne.
Well, again, Swerve, they're going to look at it again because what Carson Wentz had with the Greg Wards and the 8 guys from Wawa, that's what they're always going to compare it to. Because he brought guys out of Wawa and your local Acme and Giant to make plays. Like that's what they're always going to. Hey, listen, it's not his fault. The general manager of this team that knows what he's doing, and it's. Hey, listen, Titans, you want to get rid of AJ Brown? Sure, come on over here. You stink? Yeah, you could say you stink. Hey, that's fine. Devontae Smith for sure. It's not his fault. He's getting guys and he's finding these diamonds in the rough that these general managers have no idea. About football. So again, like you just said, Joe Montana had this guy named Jerry Rice to get him through, right? It's okay, and Tom Brady's always made some decent wideouts, so I can't. But listen, it is what it is. And if Patrick Mahomes were going to win another one, 3-peat, everyone's going to say, well, he's got Travis Kelce. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? Listen, put him in the conversation. Now, like I said, I will never wear my Jalen Hurts jersey ever again. I wore it yesterday, and it's starting Sunday morning. I will have it in my room right next to my Eric Lindros jersey because that's where it's going. He's going to be on the wall.
He deserves
my wall of fame. So
he deserves it.
He definitely does. So
he definitely in the spectrum of Philadelphia athletes, right? So this is off. I didn't even want to hit this topic tonight, but I feel like I have to now because we're talking about that. I was going to use it for another show we possibly did, but like on a scale of Philadelphia athletes in general, like you have Dr. J, you have Allen Iverson as from the Sixers, right? Then you have Mike Smith. Mike Smith is the man as far as the Phillies go. So you got Mike Smith. You got Bobby over Lindros. Bobby Clark over Eric Lindros all day. Right? So if you take Bobby, you got Bobby.
You gotta go Bernie. There's no what's the old saying about Bernie? There's no one says more than Bernie other than God. So you gotta go Bernie Perrant first. You gotta go Bernie. And like I said, to me, that's how bad that franchise has been. Because I know Bernie was before my time, but you got Bernie, you had Lindros, and now you got Gritty. Now you got Gritty.
So, and then for the Eagles, it felt like growing up, it was Reggie White. Like,
Yes.
It was Reggie White, right? So, like, it's Reggie White. Then it was like you Jerome Brown.
Mhm.
He was cut too short. You had Randall Cunningham. If you want to go way back, you had like Bednarik. But then we won the Super Bowl, and it was all about Nick Foles.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think McNabb is the greatest quarterback we've had in this franchise. Mc,
Now,
no. Listen, I'm just saying, like, if you overall body of work, it was McNabb was head and shoulders above everyone who was the quarterback for this franchise. Then Nick Foles won that Super Bowl, and you say, does body of work count more than a Super Bowl win? Which, in my
Mm.
mind, yes. So Nick Foles won the Super Bowl, but McNabb was the best quarterback this franchise has ever had. As of yesterday, it's Jalen Hurts.
I was about to say now we have an argument because I mean, mind you, Art. I don't know about you if you remember my earliest memory, like Randall Cunningham. Like we're going back. That's as far as I probably remember. So yeah, I'd have to agree. Jalen. I mean, catalog wise, Foles is kind of a technicality though. You know what I mean? Because they people would argue that he didn't really get us there. Which I
It,
mean,
right.
I don't like. I never liked Wentz. Let me put that out there. Ride or die Eagles fan my whole life. Never liked Wentz.
it,
Never liked him. Never
yeah,
liked him.
I got tell on that too. It's because, like I said, I grew up again the early Kelly Green jerseys. Reggie, I would have to go Reggie because this team has always been identified as for their defense. I go
Defense.
Reggie the B dog from B dog up until Fletcher Cox and those guys, and now you look at it could be Zach Ball and well now Brandon Graham, but
Oof. Yeah.
um but when you look at the quarterback, because like I said, I don't know if Nick Foles solely could have won that season alone without what Wentz did. I got to listen. Wentz was a one-hit wonder, putting the team on nose. Again, he was right there for. If he didn't get injured, he would have been your MVP 2017 MVP. He would have been right there with you.
Yeah.
That's that
But
track. That's that track. You know, in track they throw off the baton and the other person finishes the race.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
kind of how you could. You know what I mean?
But that's going to be to me the ultimate 30 for 30 because what if Wentz doesn't get in there? Would he have won the Super Bowl? I don't know because during that year, because if you remember that year, he lost to the Seahawks and he lost to the Chiefs, who were really a top tier teams. So I
Yeah.
don't know if he would have won. So it's amazing what Nick
Yeah.
Foles did. But you look at that, and then of course you want to talk Sixers. I got to go to what I grown up with Barkley, then went to Iverson, and now we are at a flimsy MB guy, and I am a MB defender to the day I die. So and
Yeah.
that's my
But I
guy.
think Jalen is slowly taking the city over as the god. Like,
Yes.
like,
What's his
and
now?
you know what? Yeah,
It's,
it is. But because remember, like, it was is it Iverson or McNabb's era, and eventually McNabb was a more success. McNabb had a more successful career than Allen Iverson, but it was the Allen Iverson era because of the way Iverson embraced the city, and the city embraced him back.
right.
So question. Mike Vick era, short. Is it honorable mention or no? Just question shooting out there.
Honorable mention because
No,
it was short. It was a year. Really, if you really look at
Right.
it, it was like a year and a half at the most.
yeah,
Maybe
it
two.
was too short.
Yeah.
Do you feel like his legal shit overshadowed that or
No, it was just
No,
No, it's just he didn't have too much time here. He was kind
Mm,
of let's credit to Andy for taking a chance on him. But yeah, he
facts.
unimaginable. But yeah, to me, he's in it right now. It's if you're going to name power faces of the city, it's Hurts, Bryce Harper. Still got to put them in there, whether people like them or not. You might want to put Embiid in there, or Tyrese Maxey at this point. And then if you want to look towards the future, you probably have to go Mitchkoff, and that's pretty much about it. I mean, that's if you want to go for the 4-for-4 route. But yeah, it's right now. It's just Jalen Hurts and then Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then
And the Phillies have to win one. They're going to have to win one within the next 2 to 3 years, dude. Like that patience is getting thin, dude.
No, yeah. I don't see it too. I could talk Phillies too. It's I don't see it. They're backtracking. Plus, the Mets just got a lot more better. Bringing Soto over. What's the Cincinnati Bank known for? For hitters. It's a hitter's ballpark.
It's a hitter's ballpark.
And listen, you just signed up for the Mets to come here and just to mop the floor with us. So, but listen, they got to get this whole launch angle thing ready and be ready to go because this it's the same team you're going to run it back with, the Nick Castellanos, the Bryce Harpers. Again, you're on the same pitching staff, another year older. I don't know what they're going to do. It's a wait and see game right now. It's
right. Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, listen, I want to thank you guys for having me on. I definitely appreciate it. I got another about 48 hours to go snow plowing. But yes, definitely you guys can catch
me. Let them know where we can find you.
Friday.
Pat from Antler. You guys can find me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. I'm everywhere. I do a lot of beat reporting work for the Philadelphia Wings, Philadelphia Union, NCAA lacrosse, and now I'm going to be in 2 weeks. I'll be doing some beat reporting work for the Villanova Wildcats. So I'm going to be all over, guys. You can catch all my work right there in Stream Punk. You can read my articles, yeah, you guys can catch me Sunday mornings on Stream Punk PM the Pat Bernard Show. 9 a.m. Guys, thank you so much, Marcus. Everyone, Swirv, thanks for having me on. Go Birds.
Thank you for joining me, Pat. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Yeah, man. Oof.
Yeah.
So, I got a question. I got a question for y'all. Are y'all satisfied now? Or do y'all need more? Like I would like to see more, but I'm like at the same time, like, all right.
I'm at right now. Satisfied. I'm satiated in the sense that I'm glad Jalen finally got he wanted that. You know what I mean? Like even him sitting there at the end, like everybody else was turning up. He sat down, lit a cigar. He was like chilling, like in his like I'm gonna absorb this.
Yeah.
And I'm happy for that kid. I've never doubted that kid. He's humble, he's focused, he deserved that shit.
Yep.
So for that, I'm cool. But after the parade, give me a couple weeks. I'm like, all right, we ready. Let's hit the streets. I'm hungry again. Let's go.
Yeah. I'll be there Friday too. I can't wait.
I can't listen. I don't know where to go. I don't know. I'm gonna catch some random train. I'm gonna fuck.
Yeah, that's what I figured. We figured out. We'll get there. Yeah.
I'm cool.
I think I'm gonna go up near the art museum because that's where they ended up last time.
Yeah.
Not me. But like I'm so cool. I'm smoking this Mahomes pack.
I'm happy, man, because the way they kept on saying three-peat. I'm like, no fucking way.
Yeah,
you feel me?
They spent
so like
dogging Jalen, man.
I know they talked so much shit about that kid, and that kid always just said, "All right, cool, all right, cool."
Well, listen. I know y'all really well. I know this is about 60 plus years of friendship between y'all two. So I know we Eagles fans, right? So like, look. In 2017, like we was like sitting down in the living room.
No, this means different. Yeah, this means different though.
Tears in our eyes. We was just so hyped that it finally happened, and there was no more you don't have no rings type situation.
It's different
Like
when it's different when you don't. I never thought they were gonna lose.
yeah. So that's what I'm going to get to, right? So 2017, 18 was crazy. Like it finally happened. This year, like they kicked the ball off, and this is like I'd be nervous. I'm always nervous. But when I knew we was gonna win this game for sure. Like I thought we was gonna win because Black, you heard me say if the Eagles, I said Eagles by 14, but if it's by less than 10, I'd be surprised. That's what I said on the cast yesterday.
Yep.
This is how I knew. This is when I knew we were going to win the game. Eagles got the ball. They drove. They drove. They drove. It was 4th and 2. When I knew the punter didn't, they didn't even think about punting, and they was in the huddle. I was like, okay, now I want to see what call he makes on 4th and 2 because he was either going to make two calls. He was either going to look at the box, and depending on where the safeties were, if the
Mm-hmm.
safeties were 12 yards off the ball, they were going to hand it to Saquon and say, Saquon, go get these 2 yards.
Yep.
But also, I knew that if he believed in Uno, that he was going to tell that dude that if them safeties are more than 9 yards deep, and it shows you they playing man, we can let this thing fly because that's what Sirianni and his offensive staff have done the last few years during the regular season are in situations where they're comfortable. He did it against the Giants two. He did it against the Giants 2 years ago when the Giants came out on a 4th and 2, and the safety misplayed the ball, and Devontae ended up scoring the touchdown. He did it against Washington this year when they came to the line and they seen Lattimore was man. They did it against Dallas a couple years ago when they come there on 4th and 3, and you showing them they playing man because you don't want them to run. And he trusted Jalen to make the throw. And when he made that call, AJ Brown caught the ball, but it was called back
Mm-hmm.
because of a bogus. I'm not gonna say bogus, but I don't. I think it's the Super Bowl, and you can't make that call in the Super Bowl.
I
A
knew.
pass interference call.
I wasn't gonna
But
listen. I ain't gonna lie. In the beginning, that first call, I was like, "Yo, they get ready to like, come on now, they get ready just get." I thought the refs were gonna fuck us over big time.
I knew they couldn't. This is the thing. Like, and I just never really. I wanted to see it for me to actually say, okay, it's going to be a blowout. But when I saw our defensive line, what they did, especially over the last 5 to 6 weeks, and then you looked at what the Kansas City Chiefs they haven't dealt with a line like that all year.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean,
Pressure, and Mahomes, he ain't a runner. Like he can't.
Right.
He can't scramble. He doesn't. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. He's not a runner. His scramble sucks.
Yeah, just never dealt. They've dealt with lines that have had like one pass rusher, but really nothing else, or one interior lineman and then nothing else. But they never
Facts.
had to deal with four
a
guys.
collective unit.
Yup. We got an insane line.
Because if you really look at it, their offensive line from left outside of Tooney, the rest of them are garbage.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, Humphrey,
Yeah,
but Tooney's a guard. Tooney's a guard.
yeah, but they had to kick him out there because the rest of
Yeah,
them.
they had to kick. That's what I'm saying. Like they had to kick Tooney out there. So Tooney's an amazing guard, but he's a mediocre tackle.
Right, and and then Humphreys, they bought him in there, but they stopped playing him. The rookie they had to stop playing him. So basically, they had trash across their line. So the fact that they only needed to rush 4 was what I thought was going to happen because none of them are good. And so imagine having that line and then saying you already have a mediocre line, but you're asking another mediocre lineman to help double team Carter. They were going to eat on the inside or outside. It didn't matter because the rest of them are horrible. Like the only reason they even were competitive is because of just Pat alone.
Yeah,
having to move the pocket himself to get away because they couldn't pass protect at all. And once I thought, okay, I didn't think it was going to be to the extent it was last night. I thought they would have a big advantage, but never did I think they would look like they were just, high school linemen out there. They destroyed them.
They did.
It looked like they weren't even in the NFL. Like they shouldn't be in the NFL.
Yeah, it was bad. Like, and then that's just what I was saying. Like, as a Philly fan, like, I'm like, this is fake. Like, this ain't how it's supposed to go. Or I'm just waiting for him to make up a rule that says Pat Mahomes gets a chance to throw for a 41-point touchdown to win the game type situation. Like,
praying they came back, man. The whole broadcast world, it's not over, because we saw it happen in 2016. I was like, this ain't happening, dude.
No.
They couldn't block for him. It looked to me, I said it at work, man. It looked to me like they had 5 rolling chairs. And that's what the Eagles were just pushing the rolling chairs out the way to get to the quarterback. That's what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? It was horrible. That was the worst offensive line. That was the worst offensive line game I've seen in a good 15 years since that one.
I've seen a couple Joe Burrow games where that man was running for his life.
Nothing like when Winston Justice got ran over by Justin Tuck and he got
seven sacks.
Yeah,
that was bad.
Yeah, man.
But, oh man, I just wanted to get on and talk my talk. I told you I might do this every day for a week. I might do this for a year straight.
Yeah, what's the name? I know Nelson said he'd probably be on tomorrow. I jumped on with Marv, man. But I said, look, when I get out here, I'm going to sleep, dude. I'm beat.
Me too. But it is what it is. I just wanted to get on it and get it out my system. Hopefully we'll be back at it tomorrow.
Yep.
I appreciate you, bro.
No problem, man.
Go Birds.
Yes, sir.